The minute I turned 18, my inbox filled up before my cake went still. Banks, credit cards, apps. You're pre-approved. Build your credit. Start your financial journey. Nobody asked if I knew what any of that meant. They just assumed I was ready. And that's the first thing I learned about money at 18. Access comes before education. Nobody warns you that adulthood doesn't start with responsibility. It starts with eligibility. The second you turn 18 in the US, you unlock the ability to sign contracts, borrow money, and mess up quietly for years before it catches up to you. Credit cards don't show up with alarms. Loans don't feel heavy at first. The consequences are delayed, and delay is dangerous when you're young. The first credit card offer I saw looked clean, simple, friendly. The interest rate was buried in small text, around 22 to 25%, which is roughly where average US credit card APRs sit. I didn't know what that meant at the time. Nobody explained that this wasn't just a number, it was gravity. That interest compounds daily, meaning every single day you carry a balance, the math tilts further away from you. That's when I realized banks don't need you to be broke, they just need you to be inconsistent. I didn't grow up hearing about compound interest. Nobody explained how it works against you before it ever works for you. If you swipe $1,000 and don't pay it off, you don't just owe $1,000, you owe the future version of that purchase inflated by time, and time is expensive. The wild part is, credit cards themselves aren't evil, they're just amplifiers. They make disciplined people more efficient and undisciplined people more broke. When you're 18, you're emotional, impulsive, optimistic, and convinced future you will handle it. Banks love that version of you. The most dangerous phrase in personal finance is "I'll pay it later." Later feels far away when you're 18, but later shows up fast and usually with interest attached. The thing nobody explains is minimum payments. They sound responsible, they look manageable. Just pay $35 this month. But minimum payments are designed to stretch debt as long as legally possible. On a few $1,000s at a mid-20s APR, you can spend over a decade paying for stuff you don't even own anymore. The hoodie's gone, the phone is cracked, the memory's blurry, the balance remains. Interest isn't loud. It doesn't yell at you, it whispers. It grows quietly while you're focused on everything else. I learned early that paying interest is just paying extra for the same life, same food, same clothes, same experiences, just more expensive. Then there's credit scores. Nobody sits you down at 18 and explains that your credit score becomes your financial reputation. It follows you like a shadow. Apartments look at it before they trust you with keys. Car lenders use it to decide how expensive transportation will be for you. Phone companies use it to decide whether you're risky. And yes, some employers check it too, not because they care about money, but because consistency matters. About 35% of your credit score is payment history. Not income, not intelligence, just paying on time. One late payment can stay on your report for 7 years. 7. That's almost half your life at 18. That's longer than most friendships last at that age. I stopped trusting memory real quick. Memory forgets, systems don't. Autopay became my best friend. I don't rely on motivation, I rely on automation. Another thing nobody tells you is how much psychology plays into spending. Debit hurts immediately, credit delays the pain. Studies show people spend noticeably more when using credit cards because the emotional impact is softened. The purchase doesn't feel real until the statement arrives, and by then the excitement is gone but the obligation isn't. Credit cards do offer better fraud protection, which is why I still use them, but I learned to treat them like glass, useful, fragile, not something you casually throw around. Then came my first real paycheck. I remember calculating what I thought I'd make and planning my life around that number. Then the deposit hit. Smaller, significantly smaller. That's when taxes introduce themselves. In the US, between federal income tax, state tax, Social Security, and Medicare, 20 to 30% of your gross pay can disappear before it ever reaches you. That money was never yours to spend. Planning your lifestyle around gross pay is how people end up confused where their money went. That moment taught me something important. Money management starts with realism, not optimism. Budgeting gets a bad reputation, especially when you're young. It sounds restrictive, it sounds boring, but what it really is clarity. When I finally tracked my money, I stopped guessing. I stopped wondering. I saw exactly where my money was leaking. And most of the time, it wasn't big stuff. It was small, repeated decisions. Food delivery, random subscriptions, late-night impulse buys. Money doesn't usually disappear in explosions. It leaks. Once I started seeing my money clearly, stress dropped. Budgeting didn't make me feel broke. It made me feel in control. Freedom isn't spending without limits. Freedom is spending without anxiety. Then life happened. My phone cracked, my car needed work. Something unexpected always does. That's when I learned that emergencies aren't rare events. They're scheduled by life. Financial experts recommend at least $1,000 as a starter emergency fund for a reason. It doesn't solve everything, but it stops panic. It keeps you from turning small problems into long-term debt. Nothing changes how you move through the world like knowing you can handle a surprise without swiping a credit card at 24% interest. Student loans were next. At 18, loans don't feel real. The numbers look abstract. Federal student loans often sit around 5 to 7% interest, and private loans can be higher. That difference matters. A few extra thousand borrowed casually can turn into a decade-long obligation. Interest doesn't care why you borrowed the money, it just accumulates. I learned that borrowing for education isn't inherently bad, but borrowing blindly is. Every dollar borrowed has a future cost. You're not just borrowing money, you're borrowing time from future paychecks. Then someone mentioned investing. At 18, investing sounds like something rich adults do. It doesn't feel urgent. But this is where the math flips in your favor. I opened a Roth IRA as soon as I earned income. In the US, you can contribute up to $7,000 per year as long as you earned at least that much from a job. That money grows tax-free forever. That's not hype, that's policy. The difference between starting at 18 and starting at 30 isn't 12 years, it's leverage. Someone investing small amounts early can outperform someone investing much more later. Time is the multiplier, money is just the input. Then came work benefits. When I first heard about a 401k match, I didn't get it. Then it clicked. If your employer matches part of what you contribute, that's a guaranteed return. No stock does that, no side hustle beats free money. Skipping a match is like turning down a raise you don't have to work for. Another thing nobody warns you about is lifestyle inflation. When your income goes up, your spending wants to follow. New job, new habits, new raise, new expenses. That's how people making decent money still live paycheck to paycheck. The goal isn't just to earn more, it's to keep more. Then there's digital security. Bank accounts in the US are insured up to $250,000, but scams don't care. Weak passwords, reused logins, and sloppy app security cost people millions every year. Convenience without caution is expensive. And finally, the biggest lesson hit me slowly. Looking rich is expensive. I watched people my age finance clothes, phones, and cars just to look successful. The interest quietly drained their future. Real wealth doesn't announce itself. It doesn't need validation. It's quiet, it's stability, it's options. Debt doesn't just cost money, it limits choices. It affects where you live, what risks you can take, and how much stress you carry daily. Every dollar owed is a claim on your future time. Money mistakes compound the same way money does. A late payment, a maxed card, a bad loan, they stack. But so do good habits. Paying on time, saving early, investing consistently. Those stack too. Nobody's coming to save you financially. School doesn't teach this, banks won't explain it. Influencers will sell shortcuts. Responsibility lands on you the moment you turn 18. Money isn't a personality, it's a tool. Used well, it buys peace. Used poorly, it buys stress. At 18, small decisions carry massive leverage. A single swipe, a single loan, a single habit. They echo forward. I'm Lee. If you just turned 18, understand this. The system is already running. You don't need to move fast, you need to move smart. Future you is already living with the results.